The Chicago Bulls Summer League is set to begin later today. And on today's episode, we got to talk about a couple things. Is Noah Essengue ready to make a statement? But can you really make a statement in Summer League? And we're going to talk about it anyway. Caleb Wilson is going to make his debut for the Chicago Bulls. But is it really the debut? And then we got some players that we gotta watch on tonight's matchup. But before we talk about it and break it down, you already know you gotta hear the music first.
Cognac, gang.
Shot Boys podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and I'm holding it down for today's daily episode ahead of the Chicago Bulls Summer League matchup. I am really excited. But hey, if you guys are tuned in, love what you're listening to today, ensure that you do the two-step process that does not require any rhythm. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you comment down below. But I ain't gonna hold you up any longer. Let's get into this Bulls content. I want to kick this thing off, starting off with Noa Essengue. Yeah, we know Caleb Wilson is the guy most of us are really excited to watch. But I want to stir the pot a little bit. We want a nice gumbo. You know what I'm saying? We don't just want the white rice. We want the nice gumbo to go with the white rice. You know what I'm saying? So I want to talk about Noa Essengue, and if he's can go out there and make a statement in the first matchup or throughout the summer league. And I want to ask you all a question. Can he really make a statement? Probably not, because summer league we have to take with a grain of salt. I want to make that really clear, but I think there could be some steps to really start stamping itself for this Chicago Bulls team. And I think that show us and live up to the expectations of your head coach. He challenged Noa Essengue, that's Tiago Splitter. He challenged Noa Essengue. He challenged Caleb Wilson, and he challenged Dalen Swain to go out there and pretty much lead the way for this young Chicago Bulls Summer League team. So I got to go out there and say, just live up to the expectations of your head coach. And that can be a small statement. We're not going to put this in all caps like some Twitter gangsters online, but we're going to start off with a nice little lowercase statement from Noa Essengue. He mentioned that he's been working a lot this offseason, trying to really work on just getting 1% better each and every day. Also mentioned the help from one of our favorite Chicago Bulls and Joakim Noah. So that's something that we're definitely going to be, watching from Noa Essengue to see if he can go out there and look like he just belongs. You know what I'm saying? Look like, give us a little glimpse, because we're not going to be able to say, hey, he's going to be truly effective after even just the games that they're going to play the entire summer league. Most of the stuff that's really going to matter is going to come down to how can you impact the team once the regular season gets here. But I think it's fair to say we just want to see some nice things out of Noa Essengue, because I remember last year we watched Noa Essengue in game one. It seemed like he was a little, like I want to say, just like a deer in headlights, just a little bit. But he did bounce back that following game, and he had a solid, summer league. So let's build off that, and let's make sure we're just laying the bricks down to building a solid foundation as an individual that can hopefully come in, lay some brick down for the foundation we're trying to build as a team once the regular season rolls around. And I think that we're going to have an opportunity to see if Noa Essengue is just going to be one of the rotational players, or can he eventually turn into something that's a little bit more different. I'm not going to go out there and make any assumptions or try to stamp anything for Noa Essengue. I think I'll be doing myself a disservice, and it'll be premature. But I definitely think that you can make a small statement. Just say like, we see you've been working on your game. I think that's one of those statements that you can make in summer league, or you can be like, okay, if he hones in on X, this can really help the Chicago Bulls once the season roll around. But there's not going to be a crazy statement in all caps like Noah Essengue is going to be the next All-Star. No, we're not going that far. But I think you can start laying the groundwork down appropriately to where you can move on to some bigger and hopefully some better things for the Chicago Bulls once the season rolls around. So he's definitely going to be on the radar tonight, and we already know who we came to see. But y'all let me know if that's a fair thing. Can he even make a statement? Well, I wanted to go out there and say he can make a small statement. You know what I'm saying? Like, I bet we see you that you've been working on your game. But y'all let me know how you feel about Noah Essengue heading into Summer League. And if you have some expectations for him, drop them in the comment box down below. Let me know how y'all feeling. And we already know the matchup that we all want to see. We want to see Caleb Wilson versus Cam Boozer. I would imagine there's going to be a couple times that these two match up versus one another. We're going to see Cam Boozer, go out there, and we're going to see him probably be heavily involved in the offense. I'm going to be interested to see how Caleb Wilson is going to be involved for the Chicago Bulls offense and defense. Is he going to be able to lock some stuff down? Can we see some of those emphatic blocks that we know that he can bring to the Chicago Bulls? It's going to be fun to watch Caleb Wilson later on today take on the Memphis Grizzlies. Some of my expectations is just real simple. I want to see him set the tone. I'm not going to go out there again. We taking it with a grain of salt. I think if anybody, let's just say for the sake of discussion, Caleb Wilson, he's not efficient in tonight's game. He doesn't put up 25 points like some of the other young players that have put up 25 points in Summer League. I can guarantee you there is going to be someone saying, I told you we should have drafted Boozer. I told you we should have hoped for Boozer to fall of us. Caleb Wilson is a bust already. There's going to be some of those crash outs over Summer League. Let's keep calm. But I am interested in seeing how Caleb Wilson sets the tone. How are you going to set the tone? Tiago Splitter is challenging those three guys previously mentioned, and Wilson, Noah Essengue, and Dalen Swain to pretty much set the tone. So I want to see how hard he plays. I want to see how he sets the tone offensively. What do you do defensively? I'm going to be watching for some communication, just the very small things. I don't want him going out there going too crazy to where he's risking injury, but I definitely want to see how aggressive he's going to be. And I want to see some of that dog he talked about. And I'm just giving a disclaimer already. If somebody come down in my comment box, if Caleb Wilson has a bad game and say Michael Jordan would never, I'm blocking you. I'm not playing these games, bro. I'm not playing these games with y'all right now. Then that's not for the people that can think logically. You know what I'm saying? If you come in and you say, hey, Bobby, I think he, struggled in this department. I think he did well in this department. Let's see him grow. It's Summer League. We're excited for it, but this is not the 5 games that's going to help you determine if a player is going to be boom or bust. So we got to temper some of those expectations. So it's just a simple reminder to chill. Let's enjoy the moment. Let's see these young guys have some fun. Let's see how they compete, because nobody is going to be determined, or it's not going to be determined, if somebody is going to be a Hall of Famer by scoring 30 in four Summer League games. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to matter. You just want to see guys, get their introduction into the NBA. I think that's the most important thing. And I want to see how these guys, especially Caleb Wilson, match some of that energy. Because we seen some games, and there was some physical games, especially yesterday watching AJ versus Darren Peterson. That was you know what I'm saying? I would imagine that they will see a difference of physicality, at least in Summer League, than what it was in college. And that's only going to increase as these guys make their way into the actual NBA. So let's make sure we keep it clean. We don't want no injuries. We're going to knock on wood on that. You know what I'm saying? And let's just see these guys go out there and compete at the, not the highest level, not in Summer League, but let's see them compete at a high level. That's going to be very, very fun to watch later today. But hey, y'all let me know how y'all feel about Caleb Wilson for sure. Now, before we get up out of here, I want to talk about some players not named Caleb Wilson, not named Dalen Swain or Noah Essengue that I believe I just really want to watch and see what these guys could do, bro. I really want to see what these guys could do. Obviously, you want to see Dalen Swain ball go out there and see how he handles the responsibility as a ball handler, as Tiago Splitter mapped out for us. You want to see what can he do. You want to see him, see if he can knock down a three at a decent level. I will believe that after summer league, before training camp and preseason, he's gonna receive more work, more development. So I just want to see him knock it down at a decent clip. 35% will be cool with me. You definitely don't want to see a drop off to where he's 30%. I wouldn't even honestly, I wouldn't even strike him down for it, because again, we're taking summer league with a grain of salt. Like, it will be fun to talk about, but we're not gonna go out there and just kill these players if they have a bad summer league. It's just summer league. And then some of those guys, I really want to see Donovan Atwell, bro. A guy that can go out there and shoot like that. I believe at Texas Tech last year, he made 133s for Texas Tech and shot 46% from the three. Is crazy work. And I think that if he can go out there and light it up in summer league, he can start making his way into maybe bringing himself down into training camp in the Chicago Bulls, maybe offering him a two-way contract, because I believe they only have Awaka and Sellers signed right now, and Donovan Atwell could potentially take up that third spot. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong on that, because I did not see if he was signed as a two-way player. I believe he was just signed on for the summer league roster. So y'all double check me on that for sure. But I absolutely want to see Donovan Atwell, bro. And we need shooting. Not even gonna hold you. I'm not gonna act like it's not something that we need on the Chicago Bulls. Do I think it's, what I'm saying, the biggest issue or something where we have to ring the alarm? No, not necessarily at the moment, because I don't believe that the Chicago Bulls team is gonna be what we want it to be in year one. That's just how I look at it. I think they have a lot of people who can contribute and maybe not have a high volume of threes, but can hit it at a decent level, at least right now. Talking about your Monty Buzelis, your Norman Powell's, your Josh Giddey's, and your Jalen Smith can hit the three. You know what I'm saying? So you want to see, those guys will do well. Obviously, you want to continue to improve on that. I just don't necessarily know if that improvement is coming today. We have to wait and see. But I think Donovan Atwell could add on to that and potentially, carve out something for himself. The next player I want to watch is Jalen Sellers out of Providence. Oh my God. This is a young guy who came to the podium and said, hey, I'm trying to pretty much shut the opposing team down on defense and do what I can on offense to help my team win. He's another guy that can pretty well shoot the three ball pretty well. So he's going to have an opportunity to carve out a role for himself, maybe with the Windy City Bulls. I don't know how the Chicago Bulls feeling about the remaining of the roster. I believe we still have one spot open. So I think that you really want to watch him. And another guy, Toby Awaka. Toby Awaka. I got to say his name like that. If you saying Toby Awaka, nah, Toby Awaka. I know y'all hit a difference. I know you hit a difference. And the reason we got to say it with that much emphasis on Awaka is because how on God's green earth do you play 20 minutes off the bench and average 9 rebounds? That tells me he's a rebounding machine, and I would love to see him. I would love to see the motor that this young guy has and what he could potentially bring to the Chicago Bulls if he has to be called up from the G League and fill in due to injury, or fill in because the Chicago Bulls want to get a closer look at him, or whatever it is. But I definitely want to watch him in summer league, check out some more of his skills, definitely get a front row seat, that clear view of how he plays basketball, because I think the name is appropriate to call him the new muscle milk. Yabusele was the last muscle milk. We crown somebody else with that name, because dude is he a wide guy, I believe he 260 pounds on the real. So you got, you got another guy up in there that could potentially bring something to the Chicago Bulls. I'm just one ready for to see all these young guys compete and let the Chicago Bulls make decisions on who they want to keep, who they want to move around, how they want to do business. And I think it's not up to us. I think we just got to sit back and trust the process. Obviously, there's going to be some people that get upset if the Bulls don't make a move on their player that they like. But I think the Bulls have to do what they feel best is for the team, because I remember good summer league performances from Denzel Valentine. I remember good summer league performances from Javon Freeman Liberty. I remember that. And where did he end up? Not on this team. So we just gotta wait. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta wait to see and let the basketball people do the basketball thing. But at the end of the day, we're gonna be excited to watch. So make sure you tune in later today, because C-Dub will be hosting that live call. It's definitely gonna be exciting to watch these young players compete. And we gonna see who comes out on top. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn if we playing checkers. I like to win. So I know I said take it with a grain of salt, but I ain't no loser now. I ain't no loser now. I want to win. And Caleb Wilson wants to win. That all these other guys want to compete and win. So I'm gonna be right there with them and support them. Shit, you don't go to the basketball court and play 21 and say, damn, I hope I lose today. No, you don't. You go in there and say, I'm finna bust y'all ass. Let's go hoop. What you talking about? And even when you running fives, you're not going to run a 5 at the YMCA or LA Fitness to lose. No way. So it's summer league. We ain't gonna overreact to a lot of stuff, but we definitely want to win. Hell, y'all talking about this competition. We want to compete. I don't care if we line up the Connect Four. We were just playing Connect Four on the 4th. We lining them up. Get them out of here. We trying to line them all up. Let's go. But hey, that is it for me today, y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of Shy Boys Podcast. Before y'all get up out of here, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell as well, man. We will be live later today calling the Chicago Bulls' first summer league game. And if you want to be notified, turn on that notification bell, man. We appreciate y'all. Make sure you always see red. And y'all already know I'm going to catch y'all on the next one for sure. Peace.
Cognac. Gang.